Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
What's up, fam? Welcome to L.U.S.T. Let Us Speak Truth. I'm your host, Nick. We got the crew here. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Happy Hump Day.
All right, y'all. Today's topic: the lines are blurred between the good and the bad girls. So my point of that, y'all, is hoes and the good girls are standing too close together, damn it.
Hard to pick them apart.
What's the difference between them now?
It's Hump Day. I don't know.
Personality, the way they communicate, the way that they carry themselves is completely
the way they value.
But it's so close together now. Back in the day, you could definitely identify. Now. Ooh.
Okay, so define. Okay, what was the question again? Because I want you to define actually what you were talking about.
The difference between a good girl and a bad girl in today's world.
What's considered a bad girl?
What's considered a bad girl from a guy's perspective? Travis, you're the only guy on here.
I got I'm double loaded for this conversation, so I want to make sure y'all get it out.
This is your topic. What's the difference between them, Trav?
Yeah.
One's marriage material and the other one isn't.
Huh.
No, you got to explain more than that. What constitutes not a woman that's marriage material versus a woman that's not marriage material? Elaborate on that, Travis, because a lot of people are confused with that.
Hold on. Well,
if you go ahead.
Welcome, hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Good
evening.
The topic today, Tony, is the lines are blurred between the good girls and the bad girls. And my statement was, the good girls are standing too close together. What's the difference between them in today's world? And I need a male perspective.
Boy, I know Trav was loving this topic right here, boy. Good Lord.
I'm double loaded. I'm just waiting.
Let's talk about it. What's the difference? We need a male's perspective. What's the difference?
Travis is about to give the male perspective. I want to hear what's marriage.
One is worth marriage and the other is not.
How do you know the difference?
How do I? I mean, you're gonna have to vet her, of course, but the way things are now with social media, it's quite easy to find out. And then on top of that, it's just certain things that good women don't do. Period.
Like?
Well, here's the thing. And I always say this. Women care where you're going, men care where you've been. So let's say I meet Tanya and I ask Tanya some questions and she says, well, I've been married for X amount of time. Then I'm gonna figure out background, all that. Then I'm gonna watch the way she dressed, the way she acts, and then then she's gonna be pressure tested to see what she's been through and how she reacts under pressure. If she gets through that, cool. If it's the neck rolling and acting a fool, you know what I'm saying? I don't expect you to be mute, but there's things that good women just don't do. And I mean, like you got women wearing the same clothes that their daughters wear. You got women wearing the same clothes that hoes wear out in public. So that's when you can see the biggest difference between the two. Their behavior, dress is the biggest indicator you can find out. Because if you dress, it's certain things that you're just not gonna wear as an adult woman with children or without children. You know what I mean? I like to give this analogy and I'll let somebody else go after this.
Mm-hmm.
If you dress scantily and a guy says something, you've objectified yourself, so he's gonna do it easily. It's just like if I was dressed like a police officer. If I was dressed like a police officer and you came up to me and said, officer, help me. And I turned to you and said, I'm not an officer. You said, what the hell you got the uniform on for? So if you got on whole clothes and I said, baby, what you gonna do with that? And you turn around and say, don't talk to me like that. I'm saying, well, don't dress like that. I don't give a shit what you say. You can wear whatever you want, but you're gonna get something for it.
See, and for me, here's the difference. Back in the day, the good girls used to ask permission and the bad girls used to ask for forgiveness. And I think it's the opposite now. I think it's the opposite. I think men are doing that now. Men are asking permission and asking for forgiveness.
Permission to do what?
I want to go hang out with the guys. Asking, not saying.
He's asking you to go hang out? A man?
A man is asking his wife
If it's
or
okay.
girl, is it
Yeah.
okay if I can go hang with the guys?
Well, he should go retrieve his balls from your purse too.
No,
Wait, hold
that's
on.
not
I
the
don't, I don't, I don't see a bad thing with a guy respecting his marriage or his relationship, saying, is it okay if I go visit with Jim Jones or whoever? I don't. What's the big deal?
No. I don't mean like that, Tanya. Like if me and you together, we living or whatever, and I say, hey, babe, I'm gonna go watch the Kansas City game with the boys. Respectfully, I'm telling you where I'm gonna be at. The game, a couple of hours, you know that, and I'll be back. There's no problem with that. But when you gotta pose and up something, you gotta cook a dinner, you gotta be nice all day so you can leave for a minute. Then you need to go and retrieve your balls from her purse.
Mm.
So
We're live on Facebook right now, anyway, y'all. Just so you know. Go ahead.
very, very subjective. Very subjective.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, and it's like a lot of things that I say, like it all depends on your upbringing and what you have known to be as a good woman or a woman that is respectable or whatever, however you want to, hash it out or define it or whatever. If you grew up in a world where you lived in more of a ghetto or a project, your mindset of what a good woman is or a woman that you would want to desire would be totally and completely different from somebody who grew up in an environment with a two-parent household in a maybe suburban type of neighborhood. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can say what we think that is, but it's all subjective on how you were brought up and what you have known to be. Because there's things that I grew up with thinking was the proper way to look at things, not just in women, just in life in general. That once I got older, I said, okay, that wasn't cool. But at the time, I didn't know because that was the environment that I grew up in, and that's what I thought was something that was acceptable or something that looked at as the thing to want to do or want to be or want to desire.
Right.
So for me, I think it all has to do with your upbringing and your environment growing up. And unfortunately, when you're a child, you're not really in control of that. So, I say all the time to Trav was brought up in a very, very good environment with a mother and a father that was together that showed him principles and viewpoints when it comes to not just women, but just life in general on how to be a man. And that's something that's a blessing that sometimes you can kind of take for granted because you will kind of think that everybody else has that view as far as an upbringing goes. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's just my
I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's just your opinion. That's what you're.
yeah, that's just my opinion. Yeah.
And I would say, I'm
ahead.
sorry, Lenita, hold on. I
Go
would
ahead.
say in today's world, a good girl to me doesn't care about society's outlook.
No, that's a bad girl. No.
If you don't
No.
care about what society is trying to show you or like all the social
Turn
media
you into
trying to turn you into
Okay,
something.
I could accept that. I could accept that. If you
Yeah.
can refute the pressures
Yeah.
of what they're trying to give you out, that's a really, really good sign of a lady that's centered and is like I said, marriage material. If that's what I mean, because that's what you're trying to do. I can dig that. I apologize, Nick. I took it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think
Go ahead, Lenita.
I think our upbringing has a lot to do, and environment has a lot to do with how we can be as women. However, with that being said, we have women that do come from two-parent households
The super
that
hole.
right or that are just escorts, prostitutes, and everything else. Like literally, we have women that come from two-parent households that it has a pastor as a dad and a first lady as a mother, and she's still the hoe.
But
And
that's
why-
a choice.
why do you
That's a
think that
choice,
is?
not what you see and not what you perceive. You made a choice. to say
Right.
you want to
And
do that.
that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, well, we made a choice, but something was introduced to that little girl or something was introduced. So therefore she acts that way. Like
But that
okay,
wasn't presented to them as the way to be. Like when I talk about the street culture and I talk about people that are affiliated with the streets and the gangs and all that,
Mhm.
you have a mom that's a teacher, you have a dad that's a pastor, but you make a choice to become this gang member, but that's not the that's
the
not the
upbringing that you were provided.
yeah, that's not what that's
Right.
not what they gave to you as the proper way of being as a human. And it goes the same way with that. Like you have something that was shown to you to be the right way to look at things and to be, but you made a choice to do something else different. But it has a lot to do with, as a parent, what you put into place to show that this is what your child needs to be. Like I'm sure you need it as a mother. You're putting certain things in perspective for your children to be, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be their choice. Are they going to take those what you have put into place for them to be as a young girl or young boy? Are they going to follow that? Or are they going to make a choice to do something else? But at the end of the day, your responsibility as a parent is to give them those right tools to be productive, to be a good young man or a good young lady. But you can't make
It all boils down to attention, money. It that's pretty much what
Status,
it boils down to.
greed.
Status
but
All
it's a
eventually.
but they still make that choice. Each and every one of us on this panel, I'm sure just by talking to you and knowing you all, you guys probably put the best perspective out there for your children. But at the end of the day, they still can make a choice to do the right thing or the wrong thing. And that's the thing that we have to understand. It's
That
a
is correct.
choice.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Trav.
Mhm.
So y'all, here's the thing, and I think y'all kind of beating around the bush with it. Like, because our society is what it is now, like y'all, and I know y'all saying about upbringing and all that, but society has such an influence on women now, even with the feminist movement. Like a lot of that, and I want to be free and I want to do what I want to do and I want to have a sex like men, but I don't want the repercussions that they bring after I get older and all that. That's what I'm saying. Those are the problems with the whole thing with good women standing too close.
Do you
You
feel
can't
that society should be able to have more of an influence on your child than you?
you can't beat that, Tony. There's nothing you can do. You can't
So you
beat
mean
that.
to tell me what you put in perspective for your children right now, do you feel as though they can go the right way or they can go the wrong way, totally opposite of what you're teaching them right now? Or do you think you have a strong enough influence to make them believe that this is the way to be as a young girl or a young man?
I preach to my daughters like I'm emphatic about it. But the problem is I'm not with them all day every day. They
Exactly.
like
Right.
they like they like the eyelashes this long. They like the nails. They like
Which goes
the
back to
cocktail.
the choice that I said. It's a
Yeah,
choice.
I get it. I get it.
You're putting into place what they need to be and what they should be. But at the end of the day, once, like I said before, it's a choice. They can make a choice to do something different than what Trav
But
is putting in place for them to be.
But let me ask you
but
a
the catch,
question. Let
go
me
ahead.
ask you a
Go
question
ahead.
with that. They have a choice. Yes, everybody has a choice. And I get what
Hmm.
you're saying, Tony. But here's the thing. When you have girls that are in junior high or high school, they already feel, some women or some young girls already feel a little awkward or trying to fit in. So they're going to try to follow suit with whatever the
Social norm is.
popular crowd, the social media and everybody, and they're going to follow suit because mom and dad don't know. Mom and dad are too old. I got to fit in
Mhm.
where I get in at my
Right.
age now. You know what I
So
mean?
how strong do you think your influence is on your children? All of us on the panel, how strong do we think that our influence on our children is versus what society and what social media is,
It's hard to
TV,
be.
news?
It's hard to be society. I mean, you
Yeah.
two parents have
Right.
two parents have got to have that house on lock in order to beat society. You got to monitor their friends and all that, and you got to understand once a family breaks down. In my particular situation, I'm fighting with them. I'm telling them, baby, don't do that. You look beautiful. without makeup. You don't have to do that. The boys are always going. The girls that's classy, he's gonna give you a certain level of respect. I even tell my daughters, even if he tells you a dirty joke and it's funny as shit, laugh under your breath. Because if so, I know men. He's gonna come back with another joke the next day, and the next day, and the next day. That's
You're
how
gonna get
men are,
worse.
And
and
it
it's gonna
still
get worse.
comes
It's gonna
down
get.
to the choice. No?
Well,
But
yeah,
Tony,
it
you
comes
said
down to the choice. I think with my girls, I feel just like Trav said, if it's a two-parent household and you really got it unlocked because it's two parents battling the same war,
fight
right?
the same one.
So, but if you have one parent trying to fight the whole war, trying to fight the battle,
Impossible.
you lose to society. So you have to be mindful of what your children are doing all the time. What I have to tell my kids, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, I don't win this battle because I'm not in school with them 8 hours a day. They're in school longer than they are at home. So society will win. Like society will win. Whoever they're in school with, they will win. Whoever they're hanging around with at school, they will win. But when they come home, they're a different kid because they know the expectation at home. But when they're with their friends, they are fitting in. They are being cool. I tell my kids, even though it goes in one ear and out the other, I tell them all the time, be mindful of the company that you keep. Because you as a girl, the saying, birds of a flock together. If you're doing something that these other kids are doing, the other people are going to expect it, or they're going to look over you because they're going to either A, want you to do whatever they're doing, or B, they're going to look past you because you're doing something you have no business doing, or there's something that they don't like. So it's important to know who you hang with and what message you're sending out. Because I tell the kids all the time, whenever you leave, you represent me as a parent, so don't embarrass me. But they're still kids. So
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can I say this? And it's funny because what we're talking about right now is something that brings me back to a conversation that was had in church years and years ago. It might have been like 10 years ago. I was in church, right? And the pastor was speaking about, I guess, a particular church member that was feeling a lot of guilt behind something that their child did and a choice that their child made, right? And my pastor said, at the end of the day, as your job as a parent is to give your child the tools to be a productive Christian, if that's what life you want them to believe, or person in society. If you put that in place for them, because everybody doesn't do that. Some people have a real negative. They at home the negativity starts. You don't even need the school and the streets. It's at home where the negativity starts because they don't give them the tools. And then later on in life, when something goes wrong, they feel guilty about that. But
Or
if
the
you as
attention,
a parent,
or the
yeah,
attention.
but if you as a parent put them in place and put the right tools in place for them to be a productive member in society, as far as it being a young man, a young girl, or whatever the case, and then once again they make a choice to do something wrong, you've done everything you could do as a parent, because that's your responsibility, to give them a fighting chance to be productive members in society. And when they decide to be a prostitute, they decide to be a pimp, they decide to be a gang member, they decide to be, that's something they decided to do, but they knew better than that. They knew better. You gave them the tools, but not every parent does that. Not every parent gives them the same type of tools that we on here. And we on here, as we learned as we go. We might not have been those people from day one, but we know enough now to say that these are the things and these are the tools that we're going to give our kids to be productive members in society, productive Christians, or whatever you choose to make your child be, or want desire for your child to be. But at the end of the day, they're going to make their choice. And when they do, what do you do then?
Go ahead, Trav.
Okay, so and I get what you're saying, Tone, but here's the problem with that, where it becomes a little bit more problematic. That kid that you said where the negativity starts at home, he'll gravitate to your kid because your kid has some form of structure. And that kid will weigh your kid down. And your kid will like that kid because he's so different and he has so much more freedom. And you're pounding your kid and you're making sure that hey, turn that phone off. It's 10 o'clock, lay down. They don't have that. They can call at any time. So that kid weighs down on your kid. Now that choice that they're making has been influenced by somebody who's prone to make bad choices because they're making choices and they're underage. Nobody's guiding them. So that's a whole nother monster that you're dealing with in your home. Now, here's the last part of that. One thing when guys make mistakes, that's one thing. And
Mhm.
a lot of times, but when young ladies make mistakes, a guy can rebound. He can do certain things. And I know a kid don't destroy your life, but it impacts it in a way to where you got to think for two when you ain't ready to think for yourself. So young ladies bring babies back. That's why I say the hoes and the good girls standing too close together. Because if they got a good little girl, she might not say, "Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that." But that little whorish girl, she'll have your daughter coming to school and changing at school. And if you get off early one day, you'll say, "You didn't. When did you wear that to school?" That's the game. It's crazy, man. That's the
But
game.
but as a man, that felony as a young man, the same thing you're talking about, and we talk about it in a different aspect. You're talking about and how society will look at a woman, but when how society will look at a man that has that strike that did something at a young age that they were this young. And exactly what you're saying is exactly what I used to tell the parents when I used to talk to them about gang intervention, right? I said the reason why Don Trail and little Mikey is the way it is because Don Trail doesn't have that same family structure at home that little Mikey has with the mom that's a teacher and the dad that's a pastor. And then when that situation comes, when somebody gets at little Mikey and says something, and Don Trail says, "Leave my homeboy alone, or we finna have a problem," then Mikey be like, "Man, he got my back. He just that another thing." It's the influence. You see what I'm saying? And he has to make a choice from then. Sometimes they say, "No, I'm still gonna do the things that my parents taught me to do," and sometimes they're not. And like I say, it's when we're talking about a woman's perspective, and that's absolutely correct. But it happens in both sides. It happens from a male perspective and it happens from a female perspective. And as a female perspective, it's just more of a judgmental thing. But from a male perspective, it's something that's going to affect you for the rest of your life because you made a wrong choice to decide to be in this gang, to decide to take this pistol, to be don't even have to shoot, just to be in that car where they were shooting and somebody dies. You ain't got to pull the trigger. All you got to do is be in that car and you're just as guilty as the person that pulled the trigger. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Let me
5 and 10 years down the line, when you're trying to get this job and they say you got a felony because you was involved in a murder, you see what I'm saying? Now a woman is
let me
just
ask you a
more of
question, Tony.
society.
I don't mean to cut you off, but let me ask you a question.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
All of us have a female child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not
Mm-hmm.
well, the ones that do. If they were getting bullied in, let's say, 8th, 9th grade, they were getting bullied because they didn't fit in because they made their choice of being being what the parents expected them to be. Now they're in society's mind, or the kids at school are making fun of them, or, doing whatever to them. How
Mm-hmm.
would you handle that situation at home? I mean, you could talk to them at home, but they still got to go to school and face it, and you're not there. Go ahead, Tal. Sorry, Tony.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no. And guys, y'all. I know y'all say Travis is crazy and he's a little insensitive to certain things. Like I got the tail end of when bullying was real when somebody would put their hands on you. I don't understand this. If y'all talk, if you're saying someone talking about you and that makes
No,
you uncomfortable,
no. Let's say somebody is antagonizing you, or let's say your daughter went to school with a skirt on, and
mhm.
one of those girls ran up to your daughter and pulled her skirt down real quick, and all in front of everybody at recess, and they all started laughing at her, and she was hella embarrassed.
Um, I know y'all gonna say I'm insensitive, but if that's the worst thing that happened in your life, you're gonna have a good life. I just look at things differently than a lot of people do.
No,
Like,
So
I would have
I
told my daughter
understand.
to beat her ass.
I'm
Uh-huh.
saying
I'm telling you right
that
there.
requires an answer.
I'm just telling you guys right now. I'm gonna keep it 100%. I'm gonna keep it $150. If my daughter came home to tell me, somebody did something to that magnitude to her, I'm gonna wait for the part where she said, "And I knocked the fuck out of her." I'm
Yeah,
gonna wait for that part.
basically.
I'm
Mhm.
waiting.
Okay.
I'm waiting for
Okay.
Because
the part
Travis,
where
you
you
got to
said
look
you
at it
whooped
like
her
this
ass.
from this perspective. For a
Right,
guy,
because this is the thing. As women and as little girls, once we allow the disrespect and the bully, it will continue. But if
But
you
what do
put a
y'all call
stop to
bullying
it,
though?
that's bullying
okay,
that you
what
embarrassed me
what
by
her
pulling my skirt down.
right, what her
So that
example
would be
was
considering
bullying.
bullying. That's considering bullying to y'all.
Okay,
Hell
so
Uh,
let me
yeah.
let me show
There's
you
a
why.
form
Hear
of
this,
there.
Travis.
That is a form
Because
of bullying.
you teach girls to be covered. So you want your girls to be young ladies. So she
Correct.
makes it a priority to cover herself. Somebody makes it a priority to uncover her in front of everybody. That's
And that's
bullying.
when my child would have made it a priority.
And I'm saying,
put hands
whoop her ass.
every
You don't
single
have to
time.
ask questions.
Well,
You don't have to
well-
come home and explain it to me.
I see
You say,
that.
hey, she pulled my skirt down. I whooped her ass, baby. Where you want to go for dinner?
Well,
Thank you
now,
for beating
now,
her ass.
now, let me.
We're
let me-
not
let me say-
promoting violence. Just so
No, but we
it's-
were
it's-
promoting
no,
self-respect.
no.
No,
Here's
but
the
we
thing.
are promoting defending yourself to a certain extent.
Exactly.
Because we
well,
have to be able to stand up for each other. And if you can't stand up for yourself because you have a good girl compared to this bad girl, and this good girl's doing her best to, you know, be this good girl, be covered, be, you know, get good grades, have a good, you know, when you walk around, she's walking around with her head up high and people know, okay, she's doing what she needs to do. And then you have somebody antagonizing this girl. Well, and that could be in a grown woman situation too. We could be at the
If you got a grown woman bullying you, that's on you. That's on you. That's
no,
yours.
what I'm
Oh,
saying
let me
is,
say
as a
this.
grown woman, go ahead, Tootie.
Okay, I had a job, right? I was teaching. And there was this bitch that I worked with. And to this day, I wouldn't sneeze on her. If it would save her life, I wouldn't waste my sneeze. I would die to spontaneously combustion. Because this was the thing. You have to pick your battles, right? So at this particular point in my life is when my eyes are the most fragile. I'm fighting for my eyesight. Whatever you got going, you fight for a job that I don't really give a fuck about keeping. So I'm gonna let you do exactly what you want to do because I know that my big finish is not here in this building. Now, when I came down to it and I felt like I had to get what I had to do, I didn't have a problem doing it, but don't provoke me to find out who I am. So it's not about me being a weakling. It's about me choosing me, and choosing me look like preserving my eyesight instead of getting stressed out over some miserable bitch who didn't have nothing else to do but pick at me.
Right.
It was a choice.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Usually those mean girls are the same girls that, like, if I go to the club or if I go to the lounge, those are the same girls that are gonna bump into me on purpose. The same girls that are gonna spill a drink on me on purpose. The same girls that are, see me outside and then want to talk mess because of whatever they have a problem with whatever. I mean, we choose our battles wisely, but I'm saying, like, it starts from somewhere. So we have to be mindful of who we hang with, and we have to be mindful of who our children hang with. And it makes a huge difference. People know who hoes are, and people know who the good girls are just by their, you said it, just by the appearance, just how we walk, just how we talk, just how we dress. It's a strong indicator of how this person or how this woman carries herself or how she maintains her household.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about a female point of view, and I'm just going to throw this in there for a male point of view because, like I said, I've seen this happen plenty of times. As a boy, you go to school and you get bullied. Come to school again wearing all that blue, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Come to school wearing all that red again, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Am I gonna go home and tell my mom, you got to quit buying me all these red clothes, all these blue clothes, because I keep getting bullied at school? No, you're gonna come to school. But when your friend got your back and say, you know what, he can wear whatever he want to, and if there's a problem, we can all get down. And then all of a sudden, this one say like, okay, damn, he my friend, he got my back, he not finna let nobody beat me up. I'm finna be whatever this is, whether it be on the blue team or the red team. And now you're a gang member because this person had your back and this group of people had your back because they don't allow somebody to beat you up, because people do get beat up. I mean, it's a bad thing, but at the end of the day, it's a reality. Like I said, women have certain things that they have to deal with, but men have certain things that they have to deal with as well. And when they talk about beating you up, going in your pockets, taking your money out, whatever the case may be, it's a real fact that happens. So what do you do from that point?
Well, you're not gonna touch me. Like, now that's all bets are off. You can say what you want to do. You can do shit on paper, but when it gets physical, you put your hands on me, I promise you, I will not stop until I see you pass out.
It's right. It's
all bets are off. Ass whooping for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't touch me.
That's
where I draw the line.
We got a comment from Monica Kelly. She said she just has to say, if my granddaughter told me that I'm going, something about what we were talking about earlier, I'm going straight to the parents. I'm going to push a line to make sure that kid would be expelled. That's a form of sexual harassment. This is about the kid.
Oh my God.
Travis, you don't get that.
She said that's
no. I want to say something.
Hold on. Let me finish. She said that's the new her. The old her is off limits. She would have went up there and caused ruckus. So I get that. Like, Trav, you got to understand, like, bullying and good girl, like, we kind of got off subject a little bit, y'all.
Yeah, we
Went
did. We
straight to
did.
bullying, and we're talking about good girls and bad girls
We're supposed to be talking about hoes,
together.
marriage
And we're
material,
gonna get and
and marriage
we're gonna get
material.
back to that because Nita said you can tell the way they walk. I can even respect an undercover hoe a little bit more because she's keeping up appearances and she's keeping it to herself. I can
Okay,
respect her a little bit more. But just I gotta say one thing to what Tony said.
go ahead.
So for me, the reason I'm really, really particular about that word, even though we got off track, I want to touch on that about bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind, when I had my daughters, I said in my mind, and let's exclude the gang play. That's something else.
Mm-hmm.
But here I'm from the South. So
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have gangs around. We got cliques, the people that hang together. You can't bully my kids as a father. I'm talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I deem something that is a that is a flagrant foul, no matter what they think, if I deem it, I'm going to the school and we're gonna talk to their other parent because we're gonna stop it right there because my girls come to learn. So if you change that and the school don't do nothing about it, then I'm gonna deal with that parent that I don't know. And I'll
And,
take it
and,
as far as they want. And I ain't talking about no police involved. We're gonna take it as far as you want to take it. That's how
and
I am.
you're absolutely right. And let's just say this right now. I just want to put this out there to anybody who might be listening. Make sure you have that line of communication with your kids so they're comfortable coming to you and saying, Dad, Mom, this is what's happening. So you can address that. Because some kids, they like, if I go in there and tell my parent that, and everybody gonna be teasing me talking about, oh, you a punk, you wouldn't go tell your mom, you wouldn't go tell your dad that we was doing this, that, and other thing. So always make sure you have that line of communication and let your child, your son, your daughter know, regardless of whatever it is, don't give a damn what nobody else say, be able to come to me as your dad and as your mom and tell me what's going on. So you absolutely right, Trav. And I just say it's important to be able to make sure that you have that connection with your child and not be so just engulfed with work and everything else that you don't think about that. So you're right.
And T, especially with girls, I let my girls know all the time. Look, baby, you got the ability for me to go do 40 years somewhere. So please take that very serious. I don't want them niggas in their tongue kissing. I don't like men, so I can't do nothing with that. So please
Okay,
don't do that to me.
let me ask you
Yeah.
a question. Okay, we're gonna move on. What makes a woman stand out in a crowd?
That's a main question. What y'all got to say, fellas?
Oh, I got a whole heap for that too.
What makes a woman stand out in a crowd?
If she's peacocking, you know what that means.
Hell no, I don't. What is that?
Yeah, you gotta. Yes, I'm not street smart.
I don't know what a peacock is.
Elaborate.
What is
You made
that?
that up. That's some of that Georgia shit. You need to
That
talk
ain't
to us
no
in
Georgia
American
shit.
terms.
That's across the
Uh-uh.
world.
You
Never
need to
even
talk to
heard
us
of
in a
that
language
term
we can
before.
understand.
Peacocking? I'm
What
gonna
the
ask
hell is
somebody.
peacock?
I'm
If
gonna
you're
ask
just,
somebody.
if
Email.
you're, go ahead, Trevor.
Go ahead. No, Nick.
Nope.
I'm gonna let you have it.
Nope. This
So
is
they know I ain't make it up. So
So
they
wait,
know I
is a
didn't make it up.
peacock something a hoe does, or a peacock is something a good girl does? Give me a hint.
Right.
Well, you know how pretty peacocks are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so the colors they flip them up so male peacocks, you know what I'm saying, will notice them. So
trying to
women,
show
when
off to get a lot of attention is
you get a
basically.
lot of
Okay,
attention.
attention seekers. Okay.
It's a attention seeker. So you got a chick that will come to a place and she gonna make sure her shirt is cut a little bit lower. She got a little bit more makeup on. She's a little bit more feminine in that moment when it's probably fake femininity, but she's gonna be feminine in that moment and try to act like whole and will you grab that for me? And dudes love that shit. You know how we are. We love shit like that. But those women stick out. So even when your man says, look at her, she dressed like a hoe, baby, he's looking at her ass too. Stop playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just verbiage to get a good free look in. Or maybe a trusty pair of Ray-Bans. I don't know.
So very
Okay,
subjective,
hold on.
but yeah.
I'm not, I don't mean to go backwards, but I missed a comment, y'all. And this is from Sherry. She says, honestly, we can talk all this we want. Bullying is real. Unfortunately, not too much can be done. I have mind-blowing stories.
But I wish you would tell Sherry, give me a story because I want to know what bullying is. Bullying, people used to hit you in the mouth and take your lunch money. Somebody's
not
saying
the
they don't
same
like your
thing.
shirt. That ain't the same thing.
That's not
Have you
today's
seen
bullying.
how people have bullied certain, like I remember it was a girl in high school some years back, but these girls got on social media bullying her, like spreading all of this stuff about her and posting all these videos and all this other kind of shit. And the little girl ended up committing suicide.
Tootie,
So
Tootie, let me ask you a question. Do you think I give a good goddamn if I was in high school with somebody put online about me?
this is what I'm
Well,
this is
everybody
what I'm
is
trying to get you to
different. Everybody-
understand, Travis.
Right.
Listen to me. Social media has created a competition that ain't nobody ever gonna win. Nobody. I don't give a fuck who you are. Nobody's ever gonna win the competition with social media. So if this girl, real smart chick, let's say she decides she gets accepted into an Ivy League school. Well, all of these people who hating on her anyway, gonna put out as much shit as they possibly can to try to what? Keep her from getting to her destiny. So that's a form of bullying. So it ain't about what you care about. It's about the effects that this can have on your life later. I don't understand. So I don't give a fuck about people talking about me. You say what you want to, because I got a smart mouth and I'm entitled to my opinion too. It doesn't matter. But when you're dealing with kids who grow up in the age of social media and whatever they see online is what the truth becomes, that's a whole different thing, Travis. We function in a different place. We didn't have cell phones. We rode bikes outside. We didn't play video games. We function in a different space than kids do now. So for now, competition, social media is very impactful when you're dealing with younger people. It's a generational thing. It doesn't have a damn thing to do about how you feel. It has to do with what is put out there on you.
Here's
And
the
that's
thing.
what they fight against. I
So
don't.
what about
Wait,
what
wait,
about
wait,
when a person wants to go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We Sherry commented, and this is true facts. And this, I'm sorry, you guys, we're going back and forth between these subjects, but
No, it's all good.
kids commit suicide. We didn't have to deal with social media, so you have no clue how you would have dealt with it.
Sherry, baby, I'm too strong for that. I'm not that type of
You know what,
man. I
Travis,
don't.
you
I don't
older.
believe.
You
No,
old.
no,
It
no,
don't matter.
no,
You got
no,
dinosaur
no,
bones.
no, no. I don't think like that. I do not allow those
How?
things in my mindset.
Okay, but
Can,
let's
can, I-
Never.
can I can I
let me
can I
finish.
say this?
Never.
Hold on.
Can I can I
It's weak.
Hold
It's
on.
weak.
Regroup. No, listen.
can I can I
Hold
say
on.
this?
Hold on, Tony. She
Yeah.
went further, and her son is homeschooling right now because of all the issues they had in school. And her son is not a punk.
I didn't say he was a
It-
punk.
it-
I
it's
don't know the little boy.
It's today's society. It's today's world. It's today's kids.
So you're not a punk. You're not finna go for that. But at the same time, you finna go home. My daddy Travis got a 9mm or a 22. I'm about to go in there and grab that pistol, and I'm about to go up there and shoot this fool because I'm not a punk and I'm finna handle this. That's how some people handle that. And I'm not saying that that's the right way, but you got to understand that there's some people that might kill themselves and be like, I can't take it. And some people are like, I'm not going for that. You're not finna bull with me. I'm finna handle this. But is that the right way to handle it though? You see what I'm saying?
Man,
We see school shootings and stuff all the time, and a lot of them have to do with bullying.
I
And
agree.
they shooting people that ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, I ain't bullying you. Why you shooting me for? He just sit next to me. You know what I mean? But you don't kill me. You don't kill everybody else. You don't kill the teacher
T,
because they didn't address
T,
it. You don't
T,
kill the principal because they didn't do
T,
nothing about it. So it's a lot of aspects that come to it. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Trav.
I agree. And I don't and the lady that's talking never said your son was a punk. And I want the best for the young man. I don't know him from a can of paint. I want the best for her as well.
Mhm.
I mean, eh, with that being said, we are the weakest group of people in the history of mankind.
I disagree.
Sorry, no. How could you say that? The man, what
I'm
are you
allowing
talking
to
about? You
finish.
getting fed?
Let
You
me
if
finish.
you no, y'all, no,
Finish,
Trav,
Travis.
wait.
Finish. I want
no.
to see where you're
Travis,
going.
wait, who is the weakest? Who?
Us as a group of people, to modern
Us
people
and
today.
Children. Parents.
No. As a whole,
black people.
all of us, we make concessions for stuff that we know deep down that we don't like, but we go along and we nod. And you see your children do things and we go along. And you say, oh, this is bad. We take things for granted. Man, come on, y'all. Y'all got like, what are y'all talking about? People were tougher at the height of segregation and all the stuff we were going through, and y'all
We
talking
didn't
about
have
some
social
some
media.
phony,
We did
Well,
not
wait,
have
phony,
social
okay.
media. We didn't
So
have
in
social
Travis's
media,
bullying,
Trav.
man.
in Travis's defense, we have to realize too that Travis doesn't have any social media. He's not on social media.
I'm gonna take this.
So we are the most social media Travis has is this podcast. And I'm not trying to, I'm not making
No,
fun.
no, 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 no.
of you.
No,
No,
me,
but it
but
makes
me,
There's a different perspective for him because he doesn't involve himself in social media. He doesn't have an Instagram. He doesn't have a Facebook. He doesn't have a TikTok. He doesn't have those. He doesn't have Snapchat.
And
So,
Trav, your daughters do.
yeah, but I'm saying
but
that shit ain't
he's not
real. No,
exposed
I
to
don't
it.
deal. Listen,
In
y'all,
his
I don't
mind,
deal.
it's not
I
real
don't
to
deal.
him.
I don't deal with anything that ain't real. I don't, and that stuff is phony. People giving you a highlight reel
So you
of
think,
lives that
okay,
are
let me
filled
ask
with
you a question.
crumminess.
Let me ask you a question. So just because you don't have social media and your daughters do, right? And let's say your daughters follow suit, they try to do their, hey, their thing or whatever, they're going to come home and tell you something to make daddy happy, and then they're going to go out with their girlfriends and do
That's
whatever,
cool, but
but you
but
don't
here's
ever
here.
know about it.
No. I don't have to know, but this is what I know. Your bullshit, whatever you do, is gonna come see me. It's gonna come back to me sooner or later. Now, either you can give it to me when it's small and I can help you, or you give it to me when it's big and we're gonna have other people involved. When you got other people involved, ain't nothing I can do with it at that point. It's out of my hands. So I get what you're saying. And
Right.
I'm saying for me, y'all, the reason I don't indulge in that in social media is for one reason. That shit ain't gonna help me pay my mortgage off quicker. It ain't gonna. It just. It ain't, if I'm doing business, the only way I will ever get on there is for business. If you have my personal phone number, you're supposed to have it. If I left you in the past from high school, I ain't supposed to be fucking with you. If you
So
got old lovers, I don't
do you
believe in
consider
none of that.
yourself, Trav? Do you consider yourself as a social person now?
I'm a sophisticated caveman, so yes, I would say yes.
Can y'all see
I'm
it?
You
I
say
want to make sure this is
sophisticated
visible.
caveman. Look,
I'm
Why
dead.
the fuck you
He's
lying?
seeing him.
Why you always
I'm
lying?
just being 100. And if it was more men like me, that and you got a grown man, and whoever out there, if your feelings get hurt, ain't no grown man got no business on there arguing with no women on social media and all that. He ain't got no business um playing no video games. There's a lot of stuff I don't do that other men do that I don't understand why you doing it because it don't yield no fruit. That's just me now. To each his own.
okay, y'all, I'm gonna fast forward because
Let's go.
I know we went back and forth with that. Okay, we asked what makes a woman stand out in a crowd, right? Trav responded a little bit. Tony, what would you say? What makes a woman stand out in a crowd?
once again very subjective, and I'm gonna break it down to okay. When I was younger, I had a preference, and I would say most of the people that I knew had a preference of what was attractive that would make something stand out. So for me, if a woman had a big round butt, that what was attractive to me. Now I'm a stereotype, but in stereotypical in the '80s, people that were
What
non-melanated would say that big titties were something that made a woman stand out. That's why I say it's subjective. Like for me, it's a
what
big
makes
booty
a
to this
woman
day.
what okay, that's what I'm saying. What
So
makes
and
a
like I
woman
said,
stand out
for
today?
me, it could be it's just, it ain't even changed. It's still a big old booty.
Us.
But then some people don't like they don't care about that. But if she got some big old breasts and the cleavage is all hanging out, that's what's attractive to them. That's why I say it's subjective.
So
Everybody has something that makes a woman stand out to them. So you can't. There's no general answer for that. You know what I mean? Some women like men that have good teeth. Some men like women that have
my
good teeth.
question is my
Short
question is
hair, long hair, all
my
of these
question
things
is
can stand out to you as a man or a woman.
right.
So as a man, that's what I'm saying. It's subjective. So we can't really put
Hold on, Tony. Tony,
go
hold
ahead.
on.
Mhm.
What makes a woman stand out to you? Nobody else, no men in the world. You.
To you.
Booty,
Got a big booty.
booty.
Okay. Travis, what makes a woman stand out to you?
A real feminine woman. I'm a sucker
Or the
for
way
that.
the way she dresses.
Just real feminine. Yeah.
Okay.
Claire Huxtable.
Okay. Ladies, what makes a man stand out to you?
Mm.
The way he's
No.
dressed, the way
Grabbing my
he's,
popcorn.
the way he's
Uh-huh.
dressed, you know,
Okay,
that'll
the
get
way-
my attention.
The way he dresses. Okay.
The way he carry himself and the way he carry himself.
Okay. Tootie.
I'm gonna agree with her, but I love a nerd. Like I love a smart man.
Okay.
I
But
like
you
somebody
can't
that I can
you can't
converse
tell a
with.
smart
So
man
I
by
don't have
looking
a
at them.
physical type so much
Uh-huh.
as I am attracted to intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just something physical about something that might not make you look more than once.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna tell you, I have a thing for beards. I love a big beard, but even outside of that, I love a man, and this I know this is probably gonna sound crazy as shit, but I love a man that wears like a camel colored dress shoe with jeans. You gotta have a sense of style. I know that sounds crazy, but
No,
because
it doesn't.
I'm not
No,
a
it doesn't.
sneakerhead, right?
No, it doesn't.
I'm
Hold
not.
Style is definitely
But
something.
I love.
Yeah.
I'm a shoe slut. I love me. I love some shoes. I do.
I'm a
But a
slut.
man that has like a nice neutral colored dress shoe with some jeans and a white button down, baby, that's something sexy to me. It's simple, but it's so sexy.
Okay.
Style.
That's
Go
me.
ahead.
That's one of my things.
And Lanita.
Style.
It's my turn. I just like a guy that is just clean cut.
Clean cut.
Just clean cut. Clean.
And for me, I like a good conversation. If you can make me laugh, you in there.
Well, I
That's
gotta
not a
get
good
there
answer.
first.
No,
So I
because you
can't have a
don't know.
good conversation
Yeah.
if I'm not attracted to you. What has to draw me to you to talk to you, or what has to draw you to me to talk to me?
Yeah,
Because
Nicole, you have to have
otherwise, we're not
something
even going to
physical.
have the conversation
Doesn't have to be
if there's no type.
No, it does not have to be physical for me. It
It
doesn't.
has
So you
to
could
be.
walk.
Well, how do
So
you start talking to this person?
Okay.
Nicole, you could walk by a person with a great conversation, but just because you didn't say anything, they didn't say nothing to you, you don't even know. So there has to be
You're
something
not
that
letting me- you're not
initiate.
letting
Go ahead.
me
I'm sorry.
answer.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
sorry.
Let's say I'm somewhere. Let's say I'm at a gas station
Mm-hmm.
and someone comes right behind me and be like, "Ooh, this," and I'd be like, "Yeah, what?" Whatever you say to me that made me laugh, and then you have conversation with me. I'm not about looks. I'm not always about the looks. It's the conversation. You can make me laugh at your personality. Trust me on this, y'all.
Right, I get that,
Yeah,
but I
but-
think that, I mean, that's for somebody to approach you. That means that they were attracted to you, so there was already some type of attraction there.
But that was them
But
to
that
me.
was on them, right? But that's on
So
them.
for me,
But for you, your
That's
attraction
okay.
was the way that he approached you.
exactly.
I get that. But I'm
Exactly.
saying there had to been some type of attraction on one side or the other in order for somebody
Right.
to
I mean, the
Yeah.
guy, yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's about how
how you look at the other person.
you know what I
Okay,
mean?
I
If you come by me and your personality is like, and I'm like, oh shit, he funny. Da, da, da. You got me in.
That was a very broad and general question when you said what's attractive, because you didn't say personality, you didn't say physical, you didn't say anything. So that was
I
a
don't
broad
have
statement.
to. I don't have to. What is attractive to you? You said a big booty. That was your first thought. Trav said fashion. Your first
No, feminine.
which is fashion because she has to dress nice. That's the femininity
okay.
in her.
Yeah.
So that was the question. You took it there and you took it there. Hold on, we got a comment. Sherry said teeth, shoes, and smile.
There you go, Sherry. There you go.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
And she also said, I've dated some fine, ugly motherfuckers.
Come on, Sherry. Tell them, baby.
we
all
gonna
been there.
get Sherry on here. Sherry, you coming on here, girl. But yeah, go ahead, Trav.
So attraction is not a choice. It can happen at any time. Somebody can walk past you and spark your interest. That's just the way the world works. But like Tony said, once you get past that initial, then what do you got? So that's why I say that thing go a whole bunch of different ways, because Nick's right. You could meet somebody and then their personality be really, really dope. You know what I mean? And it'll take off. I mean, as for men, we don't really look about that because we don't require you all to be funny or any of that. That
Most
man, you don't.
Most men don't.
Men don't care about that. You being funny and all that. Really, you don't have to have that much of a wonderful conversation. Honestly, He wants to have sex. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. That's what a man wants. So stop with the bullshit.
I would say either sex or attention of some sort to
So
see
Trav, let me
if they
ask you a question.
to see if they
Trav,
Yes, sir.
would you be attracted to a woman that was very wealthy?
Well, for me, and you may have heard this
Is
before.
she
I'm glad you
feminine?
asked me that.
Is she feminine?
No,
We go with this, boo.
no, I mean, because I'm a rich woman loving a poor woman's dream. So I do understand what you mean by what you just said. That works out pretty good. Would I be attracted to her wealth or yeah? I mean, yeah, I guess.
Well, she
Yeah.
say, Trav, I got you. Don't worry about nothing. What you need.
I really don't. I mean, and I said that being funny. I
Tell the
really
truth.
don't.
Tell the truth. Saying the
I don't
devil.
want to. I don't want a month. I don't want.
Quit his
I don't need
job.
a. I make my
Yeah.
no, not me. I make my
Tell
own
the
money,
truth.
so I don't. No, I make my own money. I don't need a
And
woman's
and,
money.
and,
Man.
and, and it don't mean you don't have to keep making your money, but it can put something on top of the money that you make.
No, because I will never. No, I'm not the type of man where a woman would run me. It just wouldn't work.
It wouldn't
And
happen because you
she's
still
gonna
have
run
your
me.
own money. No,
So
no,
do
She's
no.
you
gonna
feel
run
like
me.
you get to
No.
run a woman if you pay the bills?
That's if you stop making your
No,
own money and you allow her to provide for you.
wait,
But if she could put something on top of the money that you already have, that wouldn't influence you at all. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm not
nah,
saying rely
man.
on her. I'm saying make whatever the amount of money that you make right now, but you could possibly double that. And you still be the man that you can be. You don't have to worry about nobody telling you that because at the time, if you say, you know what, I'm done with this, I don't have to deal with you, I'm gonna keep on doing. You can do that because you're
What
still
she?
your own
What?
man.
Let me ask. What she
So
look
let me
like?
ask
What
this
does she
question.
look like?
So,
Do it matter?
Travis,
Do it
Hell
So
matter?
yeah,
you're
it
saying
matters.
because you make the money, you get to run the wife? Is that what you're saying? I heard you. I
No,
was
no, 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 no,
listening.
no, no. No. We in this together. I don't run you, but
Oh, you
we
say
gonna
you
be.
ain't gonna get to run me because you make more money. I'm just making sure
No, no,
that
no, no,
that's
no, no,
the
no,
bigger
no.
paycheck.
No. Most women that make more money, they want to run their husbands or they want to run the
But
situation.
but
I'm not gonna allow that. But I'm saying because I'm glad you said that because women make money for themselves and men make money for their families. Those are two
so
different things.
Trav, when you said what does she look like, right? You know you about to put
Yeah.
yourself into a little you putting yourself in that hole, right? You know what I'm about to say, right?
Come on, I'm with it.
Remember you said that men don't it don't matter what a woman looks like
No, but Tone, I'm not talking
because
about
we
a
all
lady
be
to
on
be
one.
with. I'm not talking about a woman to be with. Guys that are 7, 8s, and 9s, they'll smash a 4. We don't care about that.
But
But
the
I'm
money
saying
won't make a difference in that.
I'm not gonna get suited and booted and go nowhere with a 4.
I'm
But you'll
done.
stay, you'll stay behind closed curtain with her, right?
And many men, me and many other men have done this since the beginning of time.
I hate him.
Lord,
have-
Lord.
Tootie, but you my partner though, Tootie. Tootie!
Don't call my damn baby.
Okay, we ain't
Oh.
listen. One comment you
Oh,
guys can say to the good girls to not follow the bad girls. One comment. Go, Trav.
Ladies, please, if you take your 401 money and get a BBL when your child needs braces, that's not good. Your child needs a tutor, that's not good. Please do what's right. If you getting veneers and your son reading on a 3rd grade level and he in the 10th grade, you're doing bad girl shit. Correct that. Fix that. Don't do that.
fed you.
Okay.
I'm trying to help them ladies.
I
Stop.
they don't
Okay.
need your help, Travis.
If you and your 18-year-old
Mm-mm.
daughter are going on double dates, that's whole shit.
Who's the next person? Come on, Nick. Find someone else. We don't want to talk
Okay.
to Travis.
Good night.
Next one.
Hey,
Anybody else?
Universal answer. I say this to
No,
men,
you're
women,
in.
anybody.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
This is a universal answer. Be an individual. That's my advice to everybody, man, woman, whatever, gay, straight, whatever. Be an individual. Be your own person. Don't feel like you have to follow behind anybody else. That's always going to be my answer. Be an individual. Be your own person.
Amen.
I was gonna say
I
something
concur
very
with you.
similar to that. Tony, my answer off the top of my head was just to follow what you believe is right for you. Don't let anybody influence your choice or your decision. Just make
Mhm.
sure that what is right for you is right for you, because what's right for you may not be right for somebody else. So stay true to you, and hold on to that.
Amen.
That's an individual.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I
hold
would,
on to that.
I would just like to say a strong leader is more powerful than a follower. So
Mm,
pick and choose your battles.
Everybody's not meant to be a leader, and if you're a leader, where you gonna be leading people to? That's what I always say.
Uh-huh.
go ahead, Tootie.
I just say value yourself, and stay true to what you like, what you love. If it works for you, then hey, you don't. Because I've always been like the peacock and the pigeons. I've never been a person who fit in with everybody because I don't know, and it could be the influence of me growing up because I had all my grandparents. So I know I function differently in that space, but I never cared about fitting in and having a whole bunch of friends. Like it just never mattered to me.
Right. And I'm gonna
That's
say
sweet.
90%.
That's sweet.
I'm gonna say 90% of the time, the hoes will stay single. They will not. They can get married, but they will end up in divorce. And you're seeking something that you will never have until you love yourself. Go ahead,
Mm.
Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I like what Nick just said. Yeah, and the rest of you hoes out there. Now listen, you
Travis, I
can't
hope somebody
eliminate.
on the
No,
street to meet
I
counter and
don't
whoop
want
your
to
ass
eliminate
up
these
for
hoes
free.
because these hoes are essential in society for those men that need them. But seriously, she's right. And if you have and don't ride the hot dog carousel too long because you'll get stuck on it, and you'll get stuck out there. The cock carousel will
no,
mess you up. So I'm
Travis,
done
no,
with
I
it. I
hope
don't.
somebody
no.
find your ass in Publix and whoop your ass in the deli counter with a loaf of bread. I hope they wear your ass.
Shoot it. Shoot it.
Now, what about the freaks or the hoes that have a particular skill set in the bedroom that be having these dudes stuck and they be wondering why? Because Trav, I know you got people, homeboys, that you probably say, man, if you don't leave that girl alone, and they just can't leave them alone. And we
Because
be
them niggas
wondering,
is pussy whipped.
them
Get out
put something
of
on, them
that
put
pussy
something
whipped
on them.
situation.
You ain't
Stop
never had
Well,
that, Trav. You ain't,
it.
you ain't never had a homeboy where you kept trying to tell him, man, if you don't leave that girl alone, but he just won't leave her alone. And then it got to the point where you done got so mad that he's like, you know what, I ain't finna say no more. Do what you gonna do. Because it done got you upset because they just don't want to listen. Because you trying to give him game and
So
he just don't.
my advice to that is females stop being dick whipped and women and men stop being pussy whipped. Get your own life, know your worth. There's plenty of fish and plenty of whatever you got.
Penis.
well,
Penis.
Nick. One thing to say to that as well. I've got to say it. I'd be wrong not to say it before we go. There's some ladies out there that do things that will cause a man to. It makes you wanna. Your chest will stick out and you'll strut like um.
Mute
It's
him.
some things. I got a friend. I don't want to say his name, but he said he makes love to this woman, and she cries in
What else,
jubilation. So
what else
I
can
don't
she
know.
offer him besides pussy?
Hey, make him say,
Pussy and mouth. Pussy and mouth. What else can she offer him?
No, not
With
mouth.
Eddie,
Not
with
mouth.
Eddie
No,
Murphy.
It's
this
just
lady tears up. This lady tears up in euphoria. That would cause a man. What do? You don't.
Who, who,
You don't.
who seen who seen Eddie Murphy raw when he said, I don't know, I love her.
Yeah.
And
Y'all
on
remember
that
that?
note, and on that
I
note,
don't.
we're gonna stop recording, but we're not gonna stop here. I love y'all. Subscribe to L.U.S.T. Let Us Speak Truth, where we clown the hell out of everybody, especially Travis. And until Sunday, this is y'all.